What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Forever Stranded Lost Souls, here with the Cobblenauts Skyblock Edition. I'm just kidding. This isn't a Skyblock Edition. We just standing 256 blocks above the ground. And what we're doing today, let me stop myself around here with my my jetpack. What we're doing today is we're gonna get started on the Overworld Nether Hub, because last episode we did come around with some of the Cobblenauts, find our way to the Overworld, and what I've gotten going with is a bunch of chisel and bits, a bunch of just testing out a few blocks, I guess, familiarizing myself with a lot of different things around the place, because of course, like many of you, I am a little bit out of the loop with modded, getting back into it. In fact, fun news about that, but we'll get to that in a short while. Let's do this. There we go. Starting. Alright, so first of all, I've decided to get a little bit of chisel and bit action in here to try and hide the portal. Because, of course, I was tasked, along with a few other people, to get this area looking good. So I've decided to get going here and do this portal. And I thought it would be kind of cool just to do that sort of a thing, just to hide it a little bit. It came out alright, in my opinion. Tell me what you think. Of course, chisels and bits, man. Oh, I could get lost in this for days. It's crazy. But here's some really cool little things. I got this little shape going on here. Look at that. Really, really awesome. That three-dimensional stuff you can do there. Really cool stuff, of course. And even our own fake little rocks. Little things like that. I've said a little way too many times, but you get the point. Really cool stuff. So in this Overworld hub, what I'm thinking currently, just so we are on the same page, I was talking to some of the guys, and I was talking about quadrants, and I was like, I don't know what we exactly doing. And then I was speaking quite recently to Valen, who said that we're going to be getting portals in. So I thought what would be a great way of doing it is not to necessarily think of every one of these being a hub from here. Perhaps having a hub for our portals that we can go to from there, which I think is a fantastic way of doing it. And by the way, if you're wondering why, by the way, this is Nemsun, why Nemsun is over here, is because I don't want to break this. I don't want to lose him. I'm not too sure whether or not he'll go if I break this. I've moved the others back there, but I don't want to test it out. And I think he'll, one day when he logs in, he'll realize what's going on and he'll be able to move that. But that's not a big deal. But what we are going to do is we're going to have portals going off from these different places. And what I was thinking, because one thing that people were talking about was a Botania area. And, I mean, Botania, I love me some Botania. So I got on this straight away, thinking Botania area would be really great. And what I wanted to do was just kind of make our spawn area a garden, which then kind of combines in its way to Botania on that side. Portals probably on this side, and maybe some storage or something on that side. I don't know. Tell me what you think's a good thing to put in this portal, because, as I say, I don't know everything, and there's so many things in here that so many different people are doing. I've got no clue what's going on with everything. So, first of all, let's get going on this little Botania build here, and I can show you some of my cool projects. Man, if I get any more of these little bugs, man, they're so crazy. Every time you're breaking dirt, those bugs just appear. So, my idea for this was not necessarily to represent Botania, but really just kind of, because we've got to the Overworld, I wanted to make it very natural, kind of feeling like you've just spawned into a garden. A very opposite view of what the Nether is like, I guess. This very mechanical, dark, gloomy, scary place. The Overworld is, let me tell you, just as scary, but what we want to do is we want to come in here, have this beautiful garden, see the sky. Not only that, also, if you're coming over here, you're probably going to want to fly off immediately unless you're going to one of those portals. So having this open area is pretty important, I think, for that reason. Look at that. I've also gone to the extent of getting down there, and I think that looks alright. I think it's going alright there. So besides that, let's keep going on with this. So what I want to do here is I want to get a pretty cool, interesting wall, because this is a pretty boring area. I've just kind of messed around a little bit with chisels and bits there. That's all I was doing. And what I think could be really cool is to get a little bit of a fake windmill here. And I thought a great way to do that would be using the immersive engineering windmill, which is this one here. And I'll show you what it looks like, because I think it looks pretty awesome. These are some of my favorite things that I've seen, at least in Model. Let's pop that on there. Drop that one in around there. We're not going to be putting it here, but look at this. Give it a few seconds. Some wind, please. Like that. How cool will that be? Just having it kind of on the edge over here. So as you walk into the Botania place, it's kind of like a little bit of a wacky windmill leaning over the side. Maybe we could do something weird here. I think that'll be really cool. Maybe, in fact, what we could do, let's do an archway with the windmill on top of it, probably around there. That'll be a pretty cool thing. And I've got some living wood. I did a little bit of a living rock, sorry, and living wood for that matter. I did a little bit of an automation thing. Nothing too fancy, but I did one of those in between these 2 episodes so I could get prepared for this. And preparation has been a great thing for me. So let's get this thing back in here, because it's a great idea to just kind of build around this, because this is a pretty big awkward thing, and I'm not too sure about this shape. So that's a great way of starting. Now, what I was saying before when I said, yeah, I've got some cool news for you guys, because a lot of people are not very familiar with modded stuff, at least on my channel, that's fine. I mean, I'm still getting the hang of these things myself, and I think what a great thing would be is to do a little bit of modded stuff outside of this stuff here, because it's very easy to get lost when there are this many people on the server doing all different things, and we're all working together, but doing our own thing at the same time. It's a very weird situation to be in. Of course, if you're new to modded stuff, you're probably going to be struggling a little bit. What the heck just hit me? I think these bees, I'm pretty sure if I get too close here, they hurt me. But yeah, I thought, you know, let's give this a go. That could be kind of cool. By the way, this little block here, what I was planning on with this is maybe we could put like an elevator to go down so we can go underground for something. That could be a cool spot there. And then over here, I was planning on putting some water fountains over there. So pretty much what I was saying, by the way, in terms of the modded side of things, we're going to want some of these living rock. By the way, if you guys don't know, I know I'm on 50 different wavelengths right now, but if you guys don't know, I love Botania. Like, I absolutely love this mod. And in fact, this was the first main series on my channel, was me playing just Botania. So if you guys wonder why I'm overly enthusiastic about Botania, it's because it's my roots realistically doing YouTube videos, first of all, and second of all, I think it's a fantastic mod, and I think it really shows like a vanilla aspect to modded stuff, which I don't think you get from everything. It's a very unique mod in that way. But yeah, what I was saying is, I was speaking to System Collapsed, who is a fellow Cobblenaut, and if you don't know him, he's probably the most knowledgeable guy out there on mods that I know of right now. It's a cool little shape we've got going on there. I'm kind of getting a bit of inspiration from this. And I was talking to him, asking him what kind of a pack he would suggest, at least to try and get people who aren't very familiar, at least a bit more familiar with mods. Because trust me, modded Minecraft, it is fantastic. We might joke about stuff on stream and stuff, but trust me, modded Minecraft is fantastic. And I think it would be cool if you guys aren't too familiar to be able to show you exactly what's going on. Look at that. That's a pretty cool looking thing. In fact, something a bit more magical looking like that actually looks pretty awesome. So what I want to do now is I want to make a little bit of a pillar on this side so we can get rid of this marble over here. And we can put in one of these over here. In fact, we need more of these. Okay, I'm going to have to go back to the overworld. But what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of an arch going up there, like that, a little bit of an archway, and then probably a little bit of a roof as well, which I've got a special idea for that roof. Man, I really wish we had a faster way of getting some energy. Look how long this is taking. This is a pretty lengthy process whenever I have to charge this thing, let alone when we eventually get to my super secret new project that we're onto, which is slowly but surely getting our way towards one of these. Let me show you this. Let me go to a jetpack and get us this flux-infused jetpack. Now, I've been making some progress on this front. First of all, we need to get ourselves some cryothium. That's a pain in the butt. We will get there eventually. I'll show you what I've got, though. I've got this, that, and that's practically those. In fact, I think I might even have two extra. And then we just have to get one of those, which is also another little bit of a struggle. But that's not a big deal. The big struggle is that cryothium, which I am so close to getting. We just need to find ourselves a blizz, which is a pretty annoyingly hard to get creature. Apparently, I've explored the overworld. I haven't come across one yet, but other people have. It's just they respawn pretty not actually. They shouldn't be that rare, but they're for some reason rare. But here we go. This is what's looking over here. This is what we're looking at. Sorry. Look at that. Slowly but surely coming along. By the way, we are on currently with Valen and Ector, and Nemson was on a little bit earlier with us, and we're pretty much going to go around and do some exploration now. It looks like the sun is about to go down. So yeah, what I've been doing here is I've been adding on little bits and pieces, messing around. Overall, this has been really tricky for the fact that I have had so many different options that I could have possibly done, and I just couldn't get it right. So there's just so many different things. And I think it's not actually that I couldn't get it right. I guess it's just I couldn't make my mind up for what we wanted to do. So now I've finally made my mind up, and we've got some really cool stuff. In fact, I should have kept some of those ender pearls on me because that would have been really useful. In fact, I'm going to sleep. Get this night away, and then we'll be good. So pretty much what I was doing is I was going a bit crazy with some of these architecture craft over here, this architecture craft bench. I was doing a bunch of stuff with that, getting these roofs, getting these corners, which look so good, these smooth corners. And I actually think we're probably not going to end up using any more of this living rock over here for the Botania entrance, surprisingly. I mean, it could be any entrance right now. But some cool little highlights, which I thought I'd show you guys. Worthwhile mentions, I guess, would be the point. And they are... Can I make this jump? I think I should be able to, but let's just do the easy way. I've decided to put in some of our own custom flowers here. The reason for that was I put in these window shutters. I guess I really don't need them in anymore, but I put them in originally, and then I needed to put flowers, but flowers wouldn't go because these were occupying the block, so manufactured our own flowers. And in fact, I think that's something we're going to do a lot more. I think that looks really cool. In fact, down the bottom here as well, I just decided to do it again. I didn't actually even have to do it here. I just did it for the sake of doing it. Look at that. Really, really awesome with their own little grates. I think, honestly, Chisels and Bits could easily consume me. It's such a crazy cool mod. But what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and do this building finished. I was thinking what would be a nice little thing to add would be a wheelbarrow in the front here. A little bit of a wheelbarrow over here, maybe sitting with perhaps some flowers growing out of it. Who knows? It's just meant to be an archway into the next spot there. Maybe some trees around here, a few hedges, and then we can do bit by bit as we go through, as we figure out what the hubs are. We know this one is one for certain. We'll just keep doing it like that. I think that's a perfect way to do it. Now, some other stuff that I don't remember if I mentioned or not, but I was doing a little bit of exploration on my map, and I found over here this astral sorcery stuff, which I was going around just looking around for these sorts of things. If you guys don't know what it is, this is going to make our life so good. Trust me, I can't explain it. I'll do it no justice. But in fact, Valen from The Mischief of Mice, who's on with us right now, he does a great explanation. And I've watched his videos. Trust me, a really good explanation. The other thing I've done is I found some of these. Pretty much, I think there's only 4 different presses. And I got these from practically... I mean, you can see I've only got 1 duplicate. So practically as I was going along, I just managed to get some of those, which was fantastic in my exploration. So we're definitely making some forward progress, at least. So with this, I've got a little bit of trouble, and this has stopped moving. Well, I moved it back, and it stopped moving. So perhaps there's something to do with it being too close to other blocks. I actually should ask these guys on with me. They definitely will have a better idea. But I'll get that working. That's not really important right now. What's important right now is just to finish off the front piece here, get some hedges. I think hedges, as much as leaves are my my saving grace in most situations, I think they're going to be over here as well. So I'll get the leaves in, I'll get that wheelbarrow in, and then we can start seeing if this build starts turning out a little bit closer to what I hope it will. And there it is. Look at that. I think that's a pretty cool looking little wheelbarrow there. And that's the power of these Chisels and Bits. Let me tell you that. There's some really cool things you can do with Chisels and Bits. And I think these are some of them. I mean, the little lights inside, the little flowers, all the tiny, tiny details. However, I've got a few little issues with not actually Chisels and Bits. They actually may very well be the solution. With the architecture craft mod, is underneath these houses. Look at that. You can't actually get a good view from right here. Right around here, I would say. You can see that the roof has got some real big square pieces on the bottom. And I can't seem to work out a good way of filling that in. So if you've got a suggestion for that, I would appreciate that, because that would make my life a lot easier to try and figure this stuff out. But overall, I think we've just got a pretty successful looking build, I think, here. A good start to add in more stuff. And I was actually speaking to Nemson a slight bit earlier about where we're going to be putting beds, and where we'll put these little teleporters around the place. And I thought a great idea. He suggested a hotel. I suggested a pub, which I think we can do a pretty cool looking pub with all these kinds of curves and all these little details. We could do a crazy pub. I mean, we're not going to just be doing interiors and stuff. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of other sorts of things like that. In fact, I don't even know if I can sleep right now. I think I'm... Oh, no, wait. Cool. I thought someone else might be in the overworld with me. Turns out I'm the only one in the overworld. But yeah, that's exactly what we're doing here. What we're also going to be doing in the future is we're going to need to get ourselves some really cool things. For instance, our jetpack, a better way of charging stuff. Let me tell you that. I still have not yet got my jetpack and a bunch of other stuff. But for today, guys, I think we'll call that an episode. I hope you guys have got some inspiration at least to kind of get us going here. Give me some ideas. What you guys think? It's a little bit bland in the middle. I agree. We're going to be adding in more stuff without a doubt. But it's a good start for someone who's been completely overwhelmed with how many options we got. I think we finally got it there. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.